classmates, good day Ma'am Apifa. My name is Morgia JIMENEZ from BSED English 2B. So I with Ms. Rochelle Morgia are assigned to read one article related to the implementation of mother tongue-based multilingual education in the Philippines, or MTB MLE. So we are tasked to read the article or the case study of Espada with her other colleagues about the challenges in the implementation of MTB MLE program. So in their insightful article, Challenges in the Implementation of the Mother Tongue-Based Multilingual Education Program, a case study, Jeanette P. Espada and her colleagues delve into the complexities and obstacles faced during the implementation of the MTB-MLE program. So although the program is recognized for its potential to expedite the acquisition of basic concepts in primary education, the authors reveal several significant challenges that hinder its effectiveness. So these challenges impact the way children learn skills and content, and they manifest in various forms encountered by primary students, teachers, and parents. So the study underscores the need for a closer examination of these obstacles to improve the program's outcomes. That's why, along with these challenges, the study also highlights key factors and solutions for these mentioned challenges. So in the following discussion, I, with Rochelle Morgia, will explore the key challenges identified in this study. So the following are the challenges in the MTB MLE implementation based on the results of their study. First is difficulty in understanding concepts across subjects. So accordingly, children struggle to grasp concepts in subjects like values, education, science, and mathematics due to unfamiliar vocabulary in the mother tongue translations. So I have my grade 1 niece who once asked me, Tita, what do you mean by katluan? Kasi may subject kasi silang mother tongue. And she asked me one time kung ano daw yung katluan. So even me, I don't know what katluan means until I searched for it, and I found out na it was number 30 pala. So that time I realized, although beneficial ang mother tongue subject, we can't deny na sometimes this might lead to difficulties in understanding, memorizing, and using new terminologies, which hinders the overall comprehension and learning of the students. So what happened to my niece is also happened to the based on the results of the research study of Jeanette Espada with her other colleagues. So the next challenge is preference for English over mother tongue. So despite conversational comfort with the mother tongue, accordingly, students prefer lessons in English, perceiving it as easier. Teachers also note that students often respond in English during class discussion and request English translations of unfamiliar words. So this preference indicates a gap between the language used for instruction and students' perceived ease of learning. So next is lack of proficiency in the mother tongue. So some children have English as their first language and struggle with the mother tongue. So this lack of proficiency affects or mastery affects their ability to read and comprehend the mother tongue, thereby impacting their academic performance and engagement in lessons taught in the mother tongue. Next is code switching due to limited vocabulary. So frequent code switching between the mother tongue and English also occurs because children and teachers lack familiarity with the newly introduced mother tongue vocabulary. Technical terms are particularly challenging for them, leading to a reliance on English to convey concepts more effectively. Examples there is students preferring preferring place value over its waray translation, which is balorhit kinahihimutangan. So next is the archaic and unfamiliar terms. So the use of archaic or extremely unfamiliar terms in an effort to indigenize materials creates as well an additional barriers. So what happened is more time is spent on pronunciation and comprehension than on meaningful learning activities. This can lead to confusion and a lack of engagement, as in with terms like yeah, what I have mentioned earlier, like yung valor hit kinahihimutangan for the English term place value. Next is impact on performance in competitions. So the results of their study also note that students exposed to MTB-MLE perform poorly in competitions conducted in English. This is because their preparation and understanding are based in the mother tongue, causing disorientation when faced with English questions. So teachers' efforts to translate review materials into the mother tongue for better comprehension do not prepare students adequately for English medium competitions. Next is the widening gap in scaffolding process. So there is a significant difference between the conversational language here used at home and in the formal language used in schools. So this gap as well, according to the results of their study, also hinders effective scaffolding as parents struggle to bridge the contemporary conversational language with the formal language used in education. So this misalignment causes communication difficulties and really affects parents' ability to support their children's learning. So last challenge that they've encountered is the complexity of educational materials. Accordingly, teachers and parents express frustration with the complexity of mother tongue educational materials which are not sufficiently contextualized. So this complexity really reduces the effectiveness of the MTB-MLD program as materials fail to meet the real learning needs of children. So additionally, the use of photocopied books from public schools also reflects a lack of adequate resources and further complicates the teaching process. So, in summary, the challenges in implementing the MTB-MLE program or the mother tongue based multilingual education program revolve around language proficiency, familiarity with educational terms, the practicality of using the mother tongue versus English, and the alignment between home and school language use. So these issues collectively impact students' learning experiences and outcomes. So now, Rochelle, Joyce, Morgia will follow to share or discuss her part as well about the other challenges in implementing the MTV Emily program found in the article of Jeanette Espada and with her other colleagues. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I am Rochelle Joyce Morgia from BSED English 2B, and I am going also to discuss my part on the challenges of implementing of mother tongue as media instruction in education program. So, mother tongue based or the bi or multilingual and indigenous language education programs remain as challenged by numbers of variables. So, for decades, many scholars have debated how language policy should be implemented and which language should be used for instruction in the early education. So we have Borton, Gachichi, Dea, Basha, and Abra, and other scholars plays the center role to the study of the language of the challenges in implementing of the mother tongue. So in the studies report, the challenges in implementing of mother tongue in education program as uh, we have included here the in that article by a lack of educational resources and competent teachers, translation of academic language. The lack of educational resources and competent teachers can significantly impact the quality of education provided to students. When it comes to translation of academic language, it refers to the process of that simplifying complex academic concept, and it is about to consider or to understand more the language for students to grasp, in which ensuring that all students, regardless of their background or learning abilities, can grasp the content being taught, and we should be included them to consider their background. For instance, if the students are need to adapt new language, a teacher must be do the deed like the language support. When offer language support for students who may limited in language of instruction, this include providing bilingual resources, offering language support programs, and incorporating visual aid for aid comprehension for the student. Inadequate in educational resources such as outdated textbook, limited to access technology, and insufficient teaching materials, it can hinder the ability of teachers to effectively convey academic concepts to students. Without the necessary resources, teacher may struggle to provide engaging and interactive lessons that cater the diverse learning needs of their student. When teachers lack the expertise in translating academic language, students may also struggle to grasp key concepts and leading them in gaps in understanding and academic performance. So, to address these challenges, it is essential to invest in improving educational resources, providing professional development opportunities for for teachers to enhance their skill in translating academic language, and promoting collaboration among educators to share their best practice and resources. So, by addressing the roots of the lack of educational resources and competent teachers, we can create more inclusive and effective learning environment for all students. On the other challenges, we have also included from the articles is the in a multilingual environment, there are also challenges included such as lack of incentives for teachers and lack of lexical capacity to express authenticities of science and technology. So, the lack of incentives for teachers and absence of strong lexical capacity to express the authenticities in science or of science and technology can pose significant challenges in education sector. When a teachers lack insensitive and the necessary vocabulary to accurately convey the complexities of science and technology, it can hinder their ability to effectively teach these subjects to the students. Lack of incentives for teachers, we teachers it can result in a lack of enthusiasm and dedication in teaching science and technology students subjects. That can lead to subpar delivery of content and limited student engagement. For example, without incentives, teachers may be less inclined to stay updated on the latest advancement in science and technology or participate in training programs to enhance their teaching skills in these areas. Students may decline to learn and unmotivated to the subject. And on the other hand, lack of lexical capacity to express authenticities of the science and technology. This challenge is somehow intricate nature of science and technology that requires a specialized vocabulary that accurately convey the authenticities of the subject. When a teachers lack this lexical capacity, they may struggle to explain the complex concept in a clear and understandable manner. So the impact is on the students where find it challenging to grasp scientific and technological concept if teachers cannot effectively communicate the nuances of these challenges. This lead to misunderstanding, misconception, and lack of interest in science and technology. For example, when a, when a teachers who lack the necessary vocabulary may resort to using simplified language or inaccurate explanation, which can compromise the depth and accuracy of the content being taught. So, to address these challenges, it's essential to provide teachers with meaningful incentives to enhance their motivation and professional development opportunities, and offering specialized training programs and resources to improve teachers' lexical capacity in science and technology that help them communicate complex concepts more effectively to students. And we have also challenges is about new terminology for modern discourse and few speaker of the language, in which in the introduction of new terminologies in a contemporary conversation or fields can create barriers for individuals, especially when are limited as speaker proficient in using this term. This can lead to confusion, misinterpretation, and difficulties in effectively conveying idea. When students or speaker are limited to understand new terminology, uh, this is important to address these challenges in terms of clear definitions, contextual example, encourage them practice the words, and reinforce this new terminology into a practice in then inconsistency of this learning new terminologies. But also it is important to support important support by the those from expertise or the teachers, that the student able to learn that new terminologies. We have also considered in that article the challenges of the low status of the minority language, which points to the unwritten first language or the native language. So these challenges is somehow we considered also the low status, in which particularly in reference to the unwritten first language or native language. So it signifies a lack of recognition, support, and value that placed on that language within a society. So, when a minority language such an unwritten first language or native language is marginalized or disregarded in favor of the dominant language, so it can lead to a diminished status and limited opportunities for its preservation, promotion, and use. This can result in the erosion of linguistic diversity and cultural heritage. So, for example, indigenous languages. Many indigenous languages around the world face low status and are not risk of extinction and due to historical marginalization, limited institutional support, and the dominance of official language in education or media and also in governments. So in these challenges, in addressing this, in this article, it requires to comprehensive approach that involves community engagement, policy support, teacher training, curriculum development, and advocacy for the value of mother tongue-based education. So overcoming this obstacle, education system can promote linguistic diversity, preserve cultural heritage, and improve learning outcomes for students from the minority language background. So we have also lastly is that I have read in this article is that Gachi included in his view of the challenges in implementing the mother tongue in education program. He described that local languages limited geographical significance in the last is being the participant is that people of self-denial or feeling shame of when using the mother tongue, and the lack of political commitment. So these challenges in implementing mother tongue in education programs, a feeling of denial or shame is associated with using the mother tongue can deter individuals from embracing and promoting their native language in educational settings, in which in terms of psychological barriers, it hampers the effective of the implementation of mother tongue based education program. So for example, in in some communities, students may feel embarrassed or stigmatized when speaking their mother tongue in school, it leading to reluctance in engaging with language-based activities and hindering the development of proficiency in native language. So, in the lack of political also, in the lack of political commitment, this the absence of strong political commitment is that language preservation and promotion can result in adequate support, funding, and policy frameworks for mother tongue education program. This lack of commitment is undermines the sustainability and success of initiatives and aim at integrating the mother tongue in education. So, for example, without political backing, a language policy may lack of enforcement in mechanism or clear guidelines. It is leading to inconsistencies in the implementation of mother tongue programs across educational institutions and regions. So, this how to address these challenges, it requires raising awareness and importance of awareness of the importance of the mother tongue education and fostering positive attitudes towards the native language. So by overcoming self-denial, shame, and political barriers in education program can effectively integrate mother tongue instruction and support preservation of linguistic heritage and cultural identity. And in addition to that, I have read in the article that some scholars debated that in studies, parents must prefer English as their first language of the student because they believe that this foreign language can help the economy, like trading and communicating in foreign language, and also can eliminate language barriers. And some scholars are debate for that. So that could be all in our report of the challenging in the implementing of the mother tongue uh, as media instruction for educational programs, and I hope you had uh, understand what are those challenges it plays in implementing of the mother tongue in the early education. And that could be all, and again, I am Rochelle J. Morgia, and thank you for watching.